Right, so it's the 20th of the 10th, 2024. I'm at the air raid, well, I don't know what it's called exactly. An old used or discontinued office or building station thing. I'm not sure what it is. But it's designated, and I wanted to get a picture of it on a cloudy day. When I made it sunny, when I started making it sunny, when I came into Barrack, I was discussing saying that this could be the cloudiest, rainiest time I've been out where there's been 20 minutes solid of cloudy, rainy weather for the first time since July. When we come to July, I can't remember the days, I think it's somewhere around the 12th, the 11th or the 13th, somewhere in that area. There's two specific days. You had a quarter of a day of hazy sunshine and a quarter of a day of white cloud, otherwise the rest of the day was blue skies and sunshine. On the following day, you had 45 minutes of rainy, sort of cloudy weather. You had a couple of 10-minute periods later in the month. You had up to 10 minutes on a couple of days in September, or one day in September, I can't remember. Otherwise, just blue skies and sunshine for the whole of that month. And obviously, every single day this month's been blue skies and sunshine. 2nd of April, you had 2 or 3, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3, 15-minute periods of sunshine. Otherwise, the rest of the day was perfectly cloudy. And this was done in like sections, so it wasn't like the sun coming in, coming out. This is like 15 minutes full on and then going into cloudy weather again. And then obviously, one was just before I met up with the social worker. At the time I had a social worker. And the other 15-minute time period was straight after the social worker left. And then there was another 15-minute period where the sun came out, where I was next to like a stream where the sun was out, and I thought I'd do it another time. And also it was the wrong time of the year to get the pictures because it was very green. Or it started to become green, or you sort of had the green coming out on the trees, where it didn't look right for the type of picture I wanted to get, because I wanted to make it a more mystical picture rather than a good life, posh type of outgoing picture. Anyway, since the 2nd of April till July, there wasn't a single cloudy day. Every single day was blue skies and sunshine, with the rare torrential rainstorm. And any torrential rainstorms that did occur from late March till basically now, you're looking at about 80 torrential rainstorms where they kept the sun out at the same time as causing it to rain. And I filmed the evidence of most of this, as well as quite a few recordings I put on the internet, or kept in my life story pack of where they're doing that. And then obviously when the rainstorm ends, there's no difference to the weather because it's sunny anyway. And then there's about another 100 to 150 rainstorms, anything from heavy rain to torrential. But most of these torrential rainstorms are no more than about a minute, 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes at the maximum, and there's blue skies and sunshine again. Since that time period, before April or around that sort of time, I can't remember now, you had some hazy sunshine days. But it's really not enough to call it hazy sunshine. It's sneaky the way it's done. It's sort of sunny, basically, but there was cloud covering sun, which was making hardly any difference. But it had to be put down as hazy sunshine because, you know, that's the weather that it was. So recently I've been getting a lot of burning again. I've been feeling really ill, especially right up until Thursday, Friday last week. There's been about 2 days. I've not been great in the last 2 days, you know. I've had to go out this morning, obviously, for that reason, but the burning last night was pretty bad again. I'm feeling ill. I went out thinking it's going to be raining. So it was raining for 20 minutes, and then they decided to open the sky up to blue skies and sunshine when I got to Barrack. And now I've reached a destination of where I want to go to take a picture, and I can't take it because it's coming out with I'll take a picture and show you when I get back. It just comes out obliterated. It's all black. It's all silhouette effect because the weather's wrong. There's watery clouds, you see. It's not overcast grey. watery clouds, and it sort of gives that silhouette effect. It's like black in the part of the picture, but when you're taking an old-fashioned building with that, and you've still got the greenery out, which is not helping, because green leaves and whatever does not help with the picture that you're trying to take. But obviously the government need their sexual good life weather, don't they? So if I sort of try and take something from this angle, whether it make any difference, because you know, it's nice to try and take pictures of old buildings, you know, I'm into that sort of stuff, but the government just don't allow you to do it. It doesn't look like the weather's too. It's gone into hazy sunshine at the moment, but it looks like I'm going to have to knock it on the head and just fucking fail today. I'm trying to see if I can get it while the hazy sunshine's out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not being fucking funny, but they're being very scarce with the weather. They're doing it on purpose, that's what they're doing. But they're cold fuckers, they're cold ice fuckers, these people are doing this, because there's a specific painting that I've been mentioning for a long time. Just see if I can try and get this in a minute. I'll stop the recording for a second. Right, it doesn't look like I'm having any luck. So I'm about to see what it looks like in air. It looks cloudy that area. From in air, that is. I took a nighttime shot of that. No, it's just coming out. It's not coming out very atmospheric. The government needs to cause it to be a sexual day. They need their posh pictures, and it's as simple as that. And they want to choose the pictures that people take because they need it for their posh folders, you see. Grab it from people's internet channels, the CIA, the FBI, the military, the elite, because they have to have it sunny, because they don't like moody dull day pictures, because they have a different mindset to everybody else, because they're higher minded and they prefer the sunshine. They think of things like sports, you know, racing. Actually, to tell the truth, I don't mind watching racing, but I don't like sunny day watching racing, and I'd like it to look a bit more sort of less industrial. The other thing that they like is football. You know, they want it on a sunny day, they want to laugh about it and cheer about it, because the government's high-minded, you see. Sports, they want pictures of sports. People abseiling, canoeing in the sunshine, children with no clothes on the beach, or young ladies with no clothes on the beach. The government need that sort of picture, you see. They don't like it when I take pictures of what I want to take. If it's mystical, if it's old or anything like that, they get offended by it. It causes them, they just don't fucking like it. The government don't like it. I'm not sure what the reason is, why they're funny about it, or why they're trying to stop me getting pictures on a cloudy day or with overcast weather, but they've been stopping me for several years now. See if I can get a picture of that while I got some form of hazy. It's very, very difficult, you see, because the government are pissing about with the weather pattern every time. To actually get, it's actually extremely rare for me to get a picture with cloud around anymore. It's just a stupid weather pattern persistently all day long. They just won't stop it anymore. Well, the next bit of bad news is the camera just wants to take the pictures out of focus. Right, anyway, let's get on to the recent trouble, because I'm not feeling too good today, because I've been burning again. I'm not sure what's causing it, but I've woken up feeling fucking ill. So this is one of the reasons I did the walk. So it started off with heavy rain, so I was walking in heavy rain. I thought, I'm going to be washing my stuff today. I've got soaking wet shoes, my new shoes that is, and obviously when I come out to do the photos I fail because the sun comes out. It started to come up before I actually got to the top of the road, or if you're taking the path to where you come off to go towards Barrack, where Jack the Treacle Eater is. I didn't even get there and the sun was out. And now it seems to be sort of a mixture of hazy sunshine and full sunshine with no, well, cloud here and there. But the cloud is in favour of where I am in here, meaning that you can take a picture of the roof that's open, but the problem is it's not coming out very clever. If we go back to this Lauren painting, I don't want to keep mentioning this painting, it's pathetic, but it's a sexual painting. I mentioned about it 2015-2016. There's a Lauren that worked in Tesco's in Highbridge. Smooth skin for her age. She was very smooth skin, so she's one of the sort of really sexual types. I'm not sure what her age is, but the highest age she'd be is my age, because she's old. She's older than what she looks. but she's in a sexual relationship with someone called Mike. She had 2 ginger-haired boys, and obviously this Mike thinks I'm Savannah. He threatened to smash me, and he's got really aggressive while I was on the scaffolding once, and that came to an end. And I rarely saw her in her Tesco's after that, and if I did, she looked at me like I was a piece of dirt, or nastily, or whatever. And it does turn out there's a Mary Magdalene picture kissing and cuddling Jesus Christ that matches that picture, what she looks like. But this painting is similar. It's not exactly what she looks like, but very near, and that's why I call it Lauren picture, or Lauren painting. She looks more like Julia, or whatever her name is, Damien Radford's girlfriend at school when she was only a girl, and she used to have her 2 fingers. She's sucking on her 2 fingers in the class, more towards that appearance, but at the same time it's still slightly different than that, more longer in the face, in a sexual pattern, the way they designed the painting. Anyway, I saw it on the internet in 2015, 2016 area. I knew we had sunny days back then, but it's nothing like it is now, and I didn't see it as being a curse. I thought it's like everyone was getting the same sort of weather. So I didn't take much notice of the painting. I couldn't really remember much detail on the painting at that time to now. I just sort of forgot it, really. I saw it again in Martok in 2023, which is last year. Obviously, they started cursing me with the sun for that year, but it started getting persistent, and it's all the time. Literally since the time I saw that painting. Right through January, right through December. Sunny only where I am, cloudy where everybody else is. When I saw it, it was at Martok at Yandles. I didn't take much notice of it. I was soaking wet in sweat. It was a very hot sunny day. I wanted to get back. It was 4:20, and that was the last bus home, and that's what I did. I went back, and then obviously as I was walking to the bus station stop to go back, I realised there's more details on the picture. I mean, there's probably more details that's on there that I can't remember now, but it was basically showing this sexy lady with her legs behind the clouds. She's posing her face as a very sexy, smooth skin, you know, like you know, and she's posing her body as to apply "I'm desperate for sex with you" in the way it's designed. It's designed it symbolically, or to make a suggestion when they painted that painting. To look at, she looks like she's in her early 20s. They designed her stomach because her stomach was like naked, and they did it in a way to make it look like it's a very soft body, smooth body, a sexual body. I wouldn't say soft, but smooth, you know, sort of sexy lady, basically, that women fancy, men fancy, you know, that sort. When it's sort of men that are sort of about 25, not teenage sort of soft skin, if you know what I mean. But you can see it's made to sort of to sort of turn a man on, or to give a man a hard on sort of suggestion. So darkish hair. I couldn't really take much notice of the hair, but it's definitely not blonde. She had her hand out, and the sun was coming out her hand, and there's like a spotlight going down onto the man that's walking through the track, where it's cloudy and rainy everywhere else except where that bloke is walking, where the sun's being beamed down purposely on that person. And obviously there's a building, I think there was in the back distance of the picture, a lightning striking a cloud maybe, I can't remember. There's like trees around, and this person was down the track, and he was wearing a backpack, if I remember. I mean, I couldn't really sort of the details, and just sort of, some of this might be wrong, but I'm just going by what I glimpsed or what I can remember. I mean, I have looked at paintings before, and I thought that thing's on the picture and it isn't, and whatever, when I've seen the picture later on. But I'm only going by what I can remember, because I didn't get enough time to see the picture, and when I looked at it in 2015, 2016 on the internet, it was only a glimpse. I didn't take much notice of it. I just thought, when I was looking at it then, I was only sort of thinking that looks very similar to Lauren that works in Tesco's, and that was it. Went off here, I didn't take much notice of it. It wasn't interesting to me. But you've got to take into account, back then I wasn't being cursed with the sun, you know. And it was also in the time period where she was speaking to me, well, not speaking to me, but where she saw my CD and she was smiling at me, or making the suggestion she was sort of single, you know. And I thought to myself, well, it's no good, I don't need that, it's not going to be applicable, you know. And I thought, you know, I didn't really take much detail into it back at that time either. I just saw it as being pictured, and I didn't even download it, because it wasn't, you know, didn't mean nothing. But obviously times moved on, and things are a little bit different. And now I'm being cursed with it, and still haven't had sex, and I'm 10 years older than what I was back then, and it's too late to go with her because she's a single mother now, and she's just been made very stale, with mistakes made. It's too late, you know. And also I'm nailed as a sick cunt if I go with anyone that's younger anyway, which is not good, because I'm being told by enemies that are 25 years younger than me that I'm a sick cunt if I don't go with anyone over the age of 40, and threatening to smash me in, to kick my fucking head around like a fucking rugby ball or football, to kick all my fucking teeth out, to break all my fingers off, to break all my fucking legs and arms off, to smash my fucking ribs up or take my fucking spine out, to put me in a fucking wheelchair, to inject me with HIV, to break into my place, to knife me, to slice and fucking cut my fucking wrists and fucking throat, or to pour petrol over me and set me alight, or to smash my place up and fucking break in, and to get me off the internet, and to smash my phone up, to get me away from any communications of any people at all or whatever. And there's also been recent threats to say that before you saying first of all we're getting you off the internet, and the second thing they want to do is to burgle me and then to smash me to fucking pieces on sexuality and put me in a hospital bed, or to kill me. And some are saying that once you're shot dead or been beaten to fucking death, you're being sexually abused as a child in your next life when you're born again. And you're thinking to yourself, when you've not had anyone in this life, and you've got the cheek to tell me I'm a sick bastard if I don't go with a granny. And they've even said this in the past: you're supposed to go with a stale piece of shit, a used fucking woman, you know, someone who's got HIV. You're not supposed to go with sexuals, you're supposed to go with fucking this and that, you know, dictating who you're supposed to go with. You're supposed to go with Lisa attraction. They're even telling me I'm a sick cunt looking at Lisa, and I can't even stand the fucking look at that picture. And there's other people that are older than me that said not all people go with that type, and that goes back over 10 years ago when I was mentioning that picture, the photograph that I took off her Facebook. I mean, she's okay for those that want a non-sexual relationship, but that's what they're telling me. They're saying they're not supposed to even mind at the age of 40 onwards, or not even supposed to have a relationship, but, you know, not even supposed to have sex. You know, digging like that, getting really, really fucking nasty about it. And yet all these people that are saying this are with smooth, well, I wouldn't say smooth, but soft-skinned, teenage blonde girlfriends, the type I should have been with years and years ago, which enemies took away from me or stopped me getting, and made them single mothers back when they were teenagers. And now I'm known as a sick cunt if I don't go with anyone over the age of 40. Which, by the way, is twice the age of people that sexually abused me as a child now, of the age that they would have been at the time that occurred. Also, I'm known as a sick cunt if I look at people over 5 years older than the age Jesus Christ was when he was crucified, let alone when he was in a sexual relationship with Mary Magdalene when he was alive on earth. And there's many things like that, and you're thinking to yourself, well, why are you being told to go with an ugly old bag, a stale piece of shit that looks like it's come from the furnace of hell, when you've not had anyone in your whole life? But it's too late to do anything. But there's even more to it. There's people that have been in sexual relationships with age gaps of 30 years. Yet they don't allow more than a 2 or 3 year age gap anymore. So there's Kim, which is someone online. She had a boyfriend aged 41, which is only a couple of years younger than I am now, in fact. And don't get my say, she was 18 when he was 41. So sorry about this, but so I don't know if you captured that. I'm going to have to. I'll re-say it just in case it didn't go through. Right, so when she was 18, she fell in love with a man aged 41. And obviously, when that bloke was 41, that she was with, I was roughly 31, something like that, because I'm 10 years younger than that person. I didn't know this until later on. Well, 10 years went on, and they split up. Obviously, she was a single mother, but I didn't know this at the time when I was speaking to her online. And she told me I'm a sick bastard because there's 10 years difference in age when she was 28. Yet when she was 18, she was with someone 10 years older than me. So that says it all, doesn't it? So basically, how do I word it in a better phrase so that you'll understand? Her boyfriend is 10 years older than me. When she was 18, she was with someone aged 41. When she was slightly uglier, because she wasn't as pretty when she reached 28, and she had rougher skin, but just about good enough to fancy. She was 28, and obviously her boyfriend would have been about 51, something like that, because that's wrong, hang on. No, I'm getting a bit confused, yeah. Yeah, 51, and I would have been... No, hang on, I'm getting confused now, thanks to that fucking train passing. Right. Kim, online, was 18, and she'd got in a sexual relationship with a man aged 41. And obviously they split up. But unfortunately, that 41-year-old made her a single mother, and they enjoyed sex. And he enjoyed the sexual smooth skin, or soft skin of the teenage years of that woman. Obviously, when she was 28, she was not as attractive, but she was still sexy to some extent where you could fancy her, and this is why I messaged her on dating to find out if she was single. But at the time I didn't know she had previous relationships, and I didn't know she was a single mother. Between me and her there's only 10 years difference in age, and not 20 years difference in age. And she was 10 years older, so she was 28 and not 18. Well, she told me I'm a sick bastard because of the age gap of 10 years. So I didn't mention her previous relationship or anything like that because I didn't want to cause trouble. But I did document it, and I put it in my life story pack, and I did put something naughty on YouTube that I shouldn't, which contained this information on one of my older YouTube channels, just to confirm the evidence of what I'm saying now. So you're thinking to yourself, well, why are you in a relationship with someone 20 years difference in age, and yet when it comes to me there's only 10 years difference in age, and I'm known as a sick bastard? And also, not only that, but she's not 18, she's 28, which means she's less attractive looking than what all the guys would have fancied at the age she was when she was 18. So she's very similar to in fact she's very similar looking to Kim, who Sadie Dando knows, which is Kimberly Hobbs or Cox. I'm not sure what her surname is. I don't really have nothing to do with her. I don't like her. It's not applicable. She has a sexual relationship, she has a boyfriend, and obviously even Sadie Dando, when I spoke to her in 2015-2016 area, when my mum came on a visit, said that they don't really speak to each other anyway. She's gone her own way in life, so no one causes trouble. So obviously I can work out what she's saying, what Sadie's saying, so she's not causing trouble or anything like that. She's just making it clear that they don't bother having communication with anyone, just seems bygones now. So that's that. So that's just one example. And Kim herself, I've heard that she goes with men that are older than me, or she's been with men that are, well, not older than me, but that are a lot older than what she is. But I don't think the age is as high as what it is on that person that was online, who's also got the same name, and it's very similar looking, believe it or not. The Kim online has slightly smoother skin than Kimberly Cox or Hobbs. But it's just an example to explain that I'm being nailed on sexuality, and yet all these people have been in sexual relationships with people younger than me, and yet I'm nailed as a sick bastard if I don't go want anyone much older. Again, I can't give the surnames, I've been in trouble for this recently, but there's Leanne. She's been in a relationship with someone in his high 40s when she was only 22. And also Rebecca, again I can't say the surname, there's another person from Bridgewater that got in a relationship when she was in, I think it's 24ish, and she was with a bloke in his third, I'm trying to work what it was, 30s or 40s. If it was 40s, it'd be low 40s, probably lower than the age I am today, because I'm 43. But it just goes to show that people my age, that I am now, could get in a relationship with a woman in her early 20s, no problem at all, back even just 15 years ago, if that. But now it's a problem, because the media and the music industry and TV industry have fucked up everyone's minds, and people actually think I'm actually 50 years of age. They're saying that you turn 50 when I haven't, so that doesn't help either. And obviously with the setups lately, got like lookalikes to people who sexually abused me as a child tying to an erection, followed by a spill your guts t-shirt or something like that. And then obviously a baby being bounced about in a fat man's sling, you know, so a fat man with a fat belly with a tiny baby being bounced about in a sling. And then sometimes they'll even time a make love not war t-shirt, followed by a age is just a number, it's love that counts t-shirt. But there's also another t-shirt that's by the same company that says over 50 is too old, but under 50 is fine. It's like a sexual sort of t-shirt. All three of them are from the same manufacturer. Just take into account it's only about just over 5 years, and I'm 50. So they're getting those t-shirts on the street immediately to try and stop me getting anyone, or to possess people, or to fuck up people's minds, to cause trouble and whatever, to try and stop me getting anyone, doing it to be nasty, to be spiteful, so they can sexually crucify me. That's what they're doing. Well, it's still sunny, so I still can't take the picture. So let's get to the setups of today, shall we? It didn't actually start off too bad, to be fair. There's a couple of threats, a load of black and blue cars, sexual cars, drain covers hit over, bikes to erections, rough people in my direction again, sneezed at once, I think someone took a photograph of me, walked the road, not too many problems, got so far, and then the sun came out, and then obviously it wasn't too bad coming here. Got to the road, up the road there was a blue sexual car time with a blue car, a black car and a grey car, but in a way where it's angled at me, and then a few other cars. But it doesn't break the record of going up there at 1 or 2 in the morning, whatever time it was, in the 3-week period that I was drinking vodka or whatever and doing nighttime walks. As they really did push it on that Sunday or whatever day it was. I think it was a Sunday in the early hours of that morning into the Monday. I can't remember. So yeah, they do like their setups. And then obviously I made it down to where I am now. When I went out initially, it was pissing down with rain, so it was actually quite wet. I knew I was going to get wet, but I thought I need to get these pictures because I can't find a cloudy day anymore, or where there's any rain. Rain adds to the effect on this type of picture that I'm taking. But the thing is, what happened was they started making it sunny, it went into hazy sunshine. But it's hazy where the sun's coming through, and it's obliterating pictures, and you just can't take the pictures. The clouds turning whiter. The sun's becoming more hazy. I did a document, which I did mentioned on there already, which I filmed, and then obviously it takes us to where I am now, and I still can't do the picture because of this. I don't know what the weather is today. If I remember, it's supposed to be cloudy or rainy right up until 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. It's only the last part of the day it's meant to be sunny, but obviously they're lying again on the forecast. Right, I can't get to say what I want to say. I went to try and take another picture of the building, but it's the wrong weather, wrong time of year. It's still got the green on the leaves, it's just not coming out even when the cloud covers. There's a few seconds. Well, that's another problem I've had today, being choked out by a fucking catalytic converter, which smells like the smell of vinegar, mixed with garden cress, rubbed against stainless steel knives, but 100 times stronger. I will mention something else. You know when you take pictures of photographs of things or whatever, or you get memories of specific places, most of the memories or good days that I tend to find seem to be on the cloudy days, I notice, rather than on sunny days. There are some sunny days that pop in your head where you've had good days, which Bear Beach is one of them, which is a place where family went or whatever. But I do tend to find that most of these days that I remember seem to be dull days rather than sunny. Right, so there's a whole load of sexual cars in black and blue and grey. It's expected because the time of the day now. It can be quite busy. I don't know how busy this road actually gets, but they did break the record 1 year. It was the very first time I went down there and the second time I went down there, where there was just over 500 to one day and 1,000 on another day, so fucking hell. Right, Bird says you're a child molester. Justin repeatedly. Now I had a look online to see what it says in the dictionary on that word, because I'm getting it by animals all the time, fucking just cursed to fuck in a malicious way without getting the facts right. And it basically says a child molester is someone who's had sexual intercourse with a child. So God's accusing me of having sex with a child when I've not had sex with anyone, and the only sex I've actually had in my life is being sexually abused as a child. So, well, in the past, obviously, we've had this digging of the Wayne business or whatever, and we've had digging of other, the Michael Jackson prostitute, known as Jeanette. Some are saying that her name's Catalin, but I don't know. She does look very similar to Catalin that works at Thorn House, in fact, which is one of the staff, but not quite. She's more sort of plainer looking in the face, more rougher skin than the Catalin that works at supported housing, and they think it's the setup. The neighbours where I used to live, they think they thought because I was mentally disabled, not had anyone, they found me as an easy target to get money out of me, and they thought that is the old neighbour wanted money to move out and new neighbour needed money to move in or whatever, and they thought that I'd be an easy way to get money out of them, so they decided to set it up. They gave 3 names when they were having a conversation. They were saying Scott, the other one was Dan, or they thought it was caused by Dan. I noticed they did say that, they said that it was caused by Daniel. I don't know if they're referring to my ex-mugger Dan Morgan or another Dan. And also they mentioned the name Oliver. And actually that specific neighbour that was having a conversation in the corridor, although there's a lot of gun sounds or whatever you want to call it, it might not be, but back in those days all that died off from that specific neighbour right up until I moved, and that's a couple of years. It seemed to just be the other neighbours that were unhappy with me. But the good news is all the neighbours were happy with me when I left, so I didn't actually leave on a negative note at the time I moved. And I also saw Samantha Hillman, who's someone I've not seen for many years, who used to go to Elmwood School and knows who I am. So it looks like the picture I'm taking here is not coming out either, because this hazy sunshine's going against the cloud in that direction. It gives me opportunity to try and get a picture of this, but I'm not doing very well if any pictures have come out at all today. I want to sort of get them now because they look nice. They just don't come out. So anyway, this prostitute known as Michael Jackson Prostitute, I wasn't actually going to answer the door, but I didn't actually see to some extent, and she saw me at the door, so I had to answer it. She scammed me of just under 800 quid. She has a boyfriend. I'm not sure what her boyfriend is, but she pretended to be a car dealer to scam money out of me, and she didn't actually claim to be an escort as such. She's sort of a single lady that wanted a sexual relationship with a man. She went up to the age of 40, she said. She asked what age I was, and I said what age I was at the time, so I would have been in my 30s. And basically the scam took place from there. Then they asked for debit card details, and that's when I stopped. And obviously I had to report it because of the scam that took place. But Action Fraud said there's nothing they can do about it, and I was speaking to Adrian Jones, who's a police officer I used to know, and he said, if you get anyone like that, just say if you need to find someone, go and meet up or do it that way, because you just don't know what people are doing out there, and you just don't know what they're up to and stuff like that, and just, you know, sort of, you know, it's just basically what the he was saying. I will say that the boyfriend looks very similar to the person that wanted to attack me in Highbridge back in April 2022. He wanted to smash me in with a knife onto the railway track. That's what he wanted to do. And he pretended to be Scott, but it could be for another reason, I don't know. It might not even be the same person. It might be somebody else. And then obviously he met up in Bridgewater Way, started saying he wanted to beat me up or whatever. And then obviously I had to sort of get out of the area quick and sort of shout, because I don't know how dangerous he is, and obviously he's not weak build, and he does look very similar to people of his identical sort of suggestions. So the people that look like him do actually start on me on a regular basis, threatening to smash me in, or smash car windows, or fucking smash whatever in their path, shouting their head off to get nasty with me. With not that person that went to attack me, but people that look identical to him are just as sort of nasty. So that breed of people that look what he looks like, do start on me for some reason. I don't know why that is. They're usually into football and sports of football and sort of football clothing, and sometimes wear like a New York baseball cap or whatever, and can be quite nasty. So, you know, that's that. This is where I walked earlier, and I got a soaking wet foot, and it's increased, but there's nothing you can do about it. It's a rainy day, and I haven't got any pictures, so I'm not exactly very happy. It's been a waste of time doing this walk, in fact. But it's the wrong time of the year. Usually, I was thinking the autumn when the sort of leaves come off the trees, but there's not many leaves that are dropping at the moment. It just seems to be sort of. I was saying this I don't know if I deleted the recording. I was saying this when I was walking up through Jack the Treacle Eater, taking a walk down there earlier, and I was saying that the leaves have sort of they've not really come. It's sort of. They're still on the trees, they're still green, most of them. Usually this time of the year you get a lot fall off, or they turn yellow or golden, but it doesn't seem to be the case this year. I don't know why that is. But anyway, going back to this issue with what I nicknamed Michael Jackson Prostitute, It could also be caused by Gemma. That's not known. Gemma Ferguson, I do not know. It could be Amanda. It could be Amanda Millis, one of Sadie's friends. Or it could even be Kimberly Cox. I don't have a clue, because I don't know what their boyfriends look like or whatever. But what did annoy me, I tell you, this really annoyed me. And they knew this. We have these M discs, which is one of my favourite discs because they're a reliable disc. They took down the website. I can't remember what they did. It's something that they did. I'm just guessing now because it's a long time ago. I can't remember the order of what all occurred because I didn't find out until later on that they actually stopped making those M discs. I think it's when the actual site went down. I'm not sure. You had onyourmdiscforever.com had some details about those discs, and they were selling discs which weren't too expensive, and it's a UK site. That site went down exactly the same day that I saw Amanda Millis when I went to go to B&M store in Burnham-on-Sea to buy some matches because I wanted to do some burning of incense and some new age well, not meditation, but sitting there chilling out with spiritism and stuff like that back at that time. And I was doing it quite frequently under the pier in the underneath the pier, which is like the old pier in Burnham-on-Sea. Sometimes I'd listen to music, but in that time period when I was doing those sort of I wouldn't say rituals as such, just sort of, well, I guess it is in some ways. It's not a ritual, it's sort of lighting a few incense, and I was using a couple of voodoo dolls or whatever at that time to try and get a partner, basically, to try and ask for the spirits to help in that way. And that's when I saw Amanda Millis. But what they didn't take into account is she was pregnant and she had a boyfriend who was a lot younger. Me getting someone that looks like Amanda Millis wouldn't be possible at my age, because she's already fuck knows how many years younger than me as it is. And not only that, now they're cursing me with this painting, which I called a Lauren painting curse. Even she had smoother skin than Amanda at the age she was then. They cut my throat big time. God's fallen. There's nothing you can do at my age. I don't take to the negative attraction, and many people have told me in the past that when you've been in a sexual relationship, you adapt to the older attraction as you get older, and you sort of get to enjoy the older looking ladies and enjoy the sex from the older ladies, you know, after you've been in relationships and all that sort of stuff. Well, the thing is, I haven't been in a single relationship to adapt to negative attraction or old age attraction. Never. In my whole life I've been stopped. Enemies have stopped me getting anyone. And I'm being violated with governmental force. The music industry and the TV industry twisted against me. That's stopped me getting anyone. And enemies, and the ones that people I should have been with in the past, have all been made single mothers. It's too late. And everyone's a single mother when they're a teenager. And it's also interesting that the very first day, the first coronavirus outbreak, that exact day when the first case of coronavirus ever existed, is also the same day I found out that the very last person I could possibly contact turned out a single mother, and it was too late for anything at all. During the lockdown period, I was walking into Gemma on the beach. Just before we go any further, the age gap between my mum and my dad when they were together and married is exactly the same age gap as me and Gemma. Before we go any further, I'm going to smash you in with a knife. Sick cunt, you're a sad chap, said. Now we've got a crow going ha ha ha, and then obviously saying you're a sick cunt, sad, sorry no, I can't remember. It's saying something, and it's saying fuck your ha. I won't say what it says, but it's really, God's really giving it some, because God's fucking satanic, because God's a cruelty fucking sexual slaughter fucking tearaway that wants to sex suck the guts in and out of me as a baby in my next life before playing about with me in a fireplace with poker sticks and drinking my blood and fucking destroying me. That's the creator God for you, one malicious little bastard. Yeah, that's right, Crow. It's too late to do anything because you've fucking fallen, Christ. The creator's fallen. Yahweh's evil. Jehovah's fucking evil. Jah is evil. Allah is evil. It's just a malicious fucking deity that tears people to fucking pieces like the works of his fucking evil sexual slaughter in fucking creation. Like stepping on insects, murder, or eating and drinking out of the same water fish are shitting and pissing in. You know, creation is disease. The creator God's just a cruelty cunt. I mean, even when I nearly broke my neck, 2008, whatever year it was, I fell straight, I didn't have my hands out, and there's the first sound out of the whole day where a crow went, ha 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 ha, as my, and seagulls go, ha ha ha, as I almost broke my neck, as I was being sexually abused as a child. Crows and seagulls going, and ha 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 ha, you know, like that. So basically, since the day I was born, the creator's fucking turned against me. So me being here, it makes you wonder. But I did try and sort of see whether it was Satan, like the Bible says, for a time. So we went into like religion, or had that speculation. So I started to chuck all my life story packs away. Of pages of problems that I read when I went out, about somewhere between 150 or 300 pages in very small writing of problems, because I went to initially put it onto like a computer, into a Word pad, when I had my first ever, you know, PC to use digital ways of using a writing pad, which is known as Word pad or Notepad on the which you can save into documents or whatever. Where I thought my life would change. I thought I'd give it a go, pray to God, just for that once. Life just got worse and worse. So straight away, after I chucked those sheets away, and it's too late to get those sheets back because they were in the bin, and it would have just taken forever to just type them all out. There's even pieces of information that's never been stated before. It's sort of, you know, very serious pieces of information. But you know, I didn't expect life to get worse, 50 times worse. I mean, a previous clairvoyant, past life clairvoyant, gave me a reading to tell me that in my previous life I was female, and saying I had a very bad history, saying that I was sexually abused as a girl in my previous life many times, and saying you have sort of had to work in a laboratory, and saying that I died tragically there, and I never even had a boyfriend in my last life. She said that this life's going to get much better, and you're going to have a partner in this life. In actual fact, not long after the reading, my life gets 50 times worse. But this has been the early days of when I moved to West Street in Bridgewater, so it might even be 20 years ago, this reading now. Even the earlier readings, you know, as predicted Chloe, who turned, well, she's around 18 years of age. You know, I was saying that that's well deserved. She's saying your life's been very terrible, and that's going back in 2011 area. The clairvoyant said this. She said I'd never come across a life where it's been this bad, but my life's got fucking 50 times worse than that since then. And she said Chloe's gonna reward you. She knows who you are. She says she knows that you know, and saying that she's gonna go with you, whatever. It turns out that she told me I had to do several things to get there. She said you need to go to North Petherton Carnival when it's on, or walk up to North Petherton Carnival, and that's where you'll meet her walking to your dad's. I put this on the internet, I put it on Facebook before the explosion on the M5. There was an explosion on the M5 and they took the carnival off. There was no such thing as an event, no girlfriend, no nothing. And all the other, I mean, even in general, when I use dating sites, I've been scammed of about £10,000 up until 2018, and back then I was getting more in benefits than I get now, so I could afford to spend on there. Anyway, all that money just came in violence, disagreements, nailing me as a sick bastard, telling me to up the age or to go in negative attraction. And some say, in recent times, since 2011 onwards, if I don't know you in person, don't have me. In America, they would accept the age. They'd even go people in their 40s or 50s when they're only about 18. But even that's being closed off today. It's got to make no difference what age that person is, because I'm not going to get anyone, whoever it is and whatever age it is. The only sex I'm going to have is people sexually abusing me as a child. That's the way the Creator God wanted me to have my life set out. I knew someone called Tim when I started going to the church. I started going to church before I moved to see if God would help. My life actually got worse, and while I was doing prayers or going to the church or singing or whatever, what was happening? Seagulls going, ha ha ha, has a loud bike, it's time to an erection, or someone shouts a threat. And at incidents, I was getting a load of trouble when I was walking back or walking there on a Sunday, especially when I moved to Yeovil. and life just got worse, and then there's a presence of something like he's trying to drag you under into like a fire of hell. So that certainly proves the fucking point that God's fucking evil. So you don't want to fucking worship God, because God's just an evil bastard. Just sour, spiteful, and there's no fucking remorse either. It's like it's using his fucking works against you, as nasty as anything. I mean, it's dangerous saying what I'm saying, but the problem is that I got to look at it on the principle of my life and the way I'm being treated by God's forces. And I mean, Satan could be the innocent one. I don't actually have a fucking clue. The Bible's so fucking messed up, and so many bitter things have happened when I've sort of gone to the religious side of things, especially when I was camping at Kingscliff Woodland before I moved to Yeovil, and the amount of nasty fucking entities I was getting around me. I mean, just recently, in the 3 weeks I did the walks at Barrack or whatever, until the early hours of the morning, I was sitting in Barrack Cemetery, and I was getting this overwhelming presence coming, like a really evil fucking presence, and nasty. And it doesn't want you to, you know, it's trying to, makes you feel very uneasy, you know, quite scary in fact. Then you've got to look at the invisible traps that are stopping me go anywhere, which started in January 2024. So I was walking down this path I'm walking down now, and then as you go, there's two girls somewhere about 10 or whatever. They were coming from that field onto this path, and I was about 20 foot behind, and I was walking in the same direction that they were going to go in. Well, as I was doing so, an invisible trap stopped me going anywhere. And it's not just happened once, it's happened on another occasion. I'll come to that in a minute. Three times it's happened, in fact. So those girls were 20 foot in front of me, and I couldn't walk anywhere. So there's like an invisible magnetical force stopping you go anywhere. Like an invisible mirror that's stopping you walk anywhere at all in front of you, which lasted for about a minute or something like that. I can't remember the time period it was now. And it wasn't until those girls had finally gone that would let me through past. And also on another occasion, it occurred when there was a couple of, I think there was another girl, or an older girl that walked down the path, I can't remember now, where this occurred again. And then the third time it occurred is where a farmer was getting nasty with me, thinking I was Savannah, a rapist, and I was trying to avoid him and get away from it, and then I was blocked with another invisible force. So, for example, this force is like jumping on a trampoline, but it's not like you bounce back from it. It's like the feeling of jumping on a trampoline, but once you go there, it's not, you just can't walk any further. And as you try and walk through it, you just feel like your body wants to collapse and feel like jelly. So you can't walk any further. It's like going on a trampoline, you can only go so far down and it stops. But you haven't got the rebound, you haven't got the pressure pushing you back up. It's sort of, you have to push your way back. Feeling like, you know, it's like a feeling where it's not physically touching you either. It's like your whole thing's like a gritty sort of magnetical, heady sort of stopping you go anywhere, and then eventually that force will move and let you through. So that's only started this year, mind. But going back to when I was living at my old place, somewhere between 2017, I can't remember the year now actually. I know it's maybe it's in a bit about, say 28. I think it could have been as early as 2017. I'm not sure. You had these. There was an evil entity that was occurring next to me when I was walking past, a sexual woman under the age of 40. But it was also occurring if I was walking past a child. It wouldn't occur if I was walking past men. But a woman would experience, a sexual-looking woman. If it was an ugly sort of woman, even if she's in her 20s, it wouldn't occur. But there's an evil force, and they're looking around to be at me in a way to sort of, what the hell? You know, as if I'm evil, because you've got this like ghostly force. It's the same sort of thing like when you get an evil presence in a graveyard and it feels like a demon's trying to come up behind you, which forced me away from the graveyard, going back on a few occasions while doing evening walks while up here. So they're experiencing that, yet I couldn't really feel much when it was occurring, but I knew it was occurring. So obviously I don't know why that's occurring, but God's causing that. Animal voice sounds have only increased since I moved to Yeovil. When it comes to animal voice sounds, it's anything from telling me to fuck people that raped me as a child, to telling people to knife me down, to telling people my PIN and my bank card, to telling people, oh that was bad, that was in 20 specific year where there's a certain time period where it occurred. But these voice sounds between 2005 to 2011 area, or just sort of that sort of time period, they were extremely, really bad, these voice sounds. And then obviously these voice sounds died down, and it's here and now in 2015, 2016, 2017 and whatever when I was at Burnham-on-Sea. But when I moved to Yeovil, 2021 was okay, and up until December 2022, and then the voice sounds just got as malicious and nasty as what they have been before when I was, you know, when it was in 2011 and before. However, even after that, it was occurring, but it was very rare. It wasn't so often or as frequent or suggestive, and now it's just started coming out again as it's, you know, like it was back in that time since what I just said, since December 2022. There we are, that's just an example. Child abuse, I'm trying to do something and I can't because I'm being with fucking animal voice sounds that are corrupted. God's just absolutely fucking Satan. The creator God's just absolutely fucking evil. A spiteful, malicious fucking tearaway. Right, so you've had over 200 animal voice sounds today in this corrupt fucking pattern. But every time you push record, I remember doing this in the past. I did it on tape. I managed to get it on tape in the earliest days of when I was audio recording this, and I posted it to the BBC. They sent me a letter saying this is very serious recordings, and said they'd like to have me to come into London or wherever it was that they want to have a discussion to discuss what's going on these tapes, because they said it was very serious. Obviously when it comes to a doctor or anybody like that, they put it down to schizophrenia, but we're talking about the early days. We're talking about 2005 possibly, when the voice sounds occurred, and they said this is very serious information that's coming out. And even back then they were telling me to whatever, I can't remember what they were saying back then, but you had some, I don't think it was a spiteful, but there was definitely some nasty fucking voice sounds that were occurring from animals, and they wanted to interview, you know, have a discussion with me, interview me, yeah. And I thought to myself, I'm not well enough for that, you know. I thought, I have hangovers every day, and I'm not that sort of, you know, with autism, doesn't make you feel like, you know, concentrating is not very clever, and thought, so I just left the letter and ignored it, and eventually I posted them a couple of audio recordings in the early days of when the sound started to increase. But not long after, when this all occurred, the creator God was getting nasty and malicious, trying to disguise it. So what was happening, and it's been happening every single day nearly since when I tried audio recording it, is what will happen as soon as an animal voice sound occurs, they're making sure that I don't get the evidence on record. There we are, fucking catalytic converter setups hanging about here. Yeah, they need to fucking start. This is a sexy sun down in straight. Fuck's sake. Yeah, it's looking the other direction, you've got the fucking sun in your eye. So I'm going to be pissing about doing this, are they? Right, so basically the animal voice sounds started really sort of when it's sort of in a mass. The most frequent was "You molested Stephanie" or stuff like that in the early days, which is not true. There we are, catalytic converter setup. They need to get the car at the cat. They need to do this. I don't know why. They're buckled there as fucking as evil as a fucking creator God, the government, or the people that are doing this. They're just spiteful bastards. Right, so back to what I was saying. If you push record on a digital audio recording device, animal sounds would come to a sudden stop, or the voice sounds would stop. As soon as the battery goes flat, or you're in a situation where you can't push record, or like in a bath or something like that, or where you're not got the digital audio recorder handy, you get a whole plethora of voice sounds. Happens quite frequently when I do the walks. But they manage to do it every time, so you're near enough. Almost every voice sound is like God stopping you get the evidence on every single voice sound in a sneaky way. And there's also something else that's new as well. And this happened in late 2023 onwards. If I was passing a sexual woman that's walking past on her own, I'd suddenly get a weak part in my leg or something like that. Suddenly crushing, sort of feeling sick suddenly, or something put me down on the floor until that person passes. But it's not just happening if a sexual person passes. If there's an enemy or a nasty person that wants to attack me, I'm suddenly becoming weak, or I'm suddenly becoming like I need to collapse on the floor because I've got heartburn or something that's causing me, you know, something that's causing me to feel really ill, and I'm nearly getting attacked because of it. And at the time that occurs, not only is that occurring, but a seagull crow's going ha 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 in that sort of spiteful way. So, and then obviously you've got these setups, as I usually mention, like the wording on vehicles, like ripping you to pieces, smash you to pieces, rubble flatbed lorry, night attack van, just in time van with a double bell alarm clock being smashed with a cartoon character picture, and just in time written in the middle of the alarm clock. Langford construction van, message to you van, do you understand van, when it goes into like murder vehicles and suggestions like that, and telling me to, and you like Chick Baxter van, or child rapist van, or child Lester van, or you name it, knife down t-shirt, a polar speed van, aggressive something or other, can't remember what it says on the t-shirt. And even when this occurs, there's thousands of setups some days, you know, and you just, and you got animals going ha 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 these incidents or whatever. It's like, it's been going on for many years, and not just something new. It's like the gods fucking fallen. God's a potato head, creator God's fallen. Simple. Alright. Right, so I made it to the next section. The road wasn't really that busy earlier. I mean, it's fair for the day it is, an average amount of traffic. So it didn't look like it's superimposed with heavy action deliberate. Not for that stretch, not today. And that would be, you know, it could be because I left a minute earlier than I was initially planning to leave, because I got a drink out the fridge, but I didn't get anything to eat, and I was thinking of getting something to eat, and I left it. By the time I did that, it would have been about a minute later. So probably what happened was, I did hear the setups and constructing getting heavier, literally seconds after I passed the road or whatever. So like a few seconds after. So they probably had it constructed, but it's slightly off today because I didn't get that something to eat. I've not even actually drank that drink yet. So, but whatever would have happened, they do whatever they can to cause as much trouble and problems as they can. It's just that their noetic science technology didn't expect me to go out without something to eat. And I did expect to actually get no photos either today. I was hoping to get a picture, at least one picture, you know, but it doesn't seem it's the right weather. It was initially when I left, but then it turned sunny. But that's not exactly what I want to mention. It's the wrong time of the year. Well, it's not the wrong time of the year. It's difficult to explain. The weather's not right. It's not. Usually this time of year you have leaves that are falling to the ground, and sort of the golden effect on the trees, or you've got some, you know, bareness on the trees. It seems that the leaves are staying on the trees longer this year than what they should be, and they're staying green as well. A lot of these leaves that are on the trees are still green. Usually this time of the year they're falling off at least. You know, I'm walking on some leaves, obviously. There's quite a few leaves that have fallen down, but it's not your average. It's under your regular amount. It's usually a lot more. I remember the first year I came up here, there's like bushes sort of leaves that are falling down. Today it's just like the occasional few green leaves here and there, and some of those leaves that are falling down are not just like leaves that are falling down. It's leaves that have been there for a while. It's sort of the weather pattern's all fucked up at the moment. I think the nearest you're going to get those pictures is January, with the way it is, until the leaves. But then again, you still had some leaves on the trees in January last year, so it's difficult. But you know, just seems to be one of those pictures you can't take in the weather. You know, there's not much you can do about it. Sick blue, black sexual, fucking black sexual, fucking sick, black and fucking blue, white sick, fucking blue, 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 black, fucking sick. Sick, white. It's like that at the moment. I've got to go to the road because obviously the field's packed with balls. I don't feel like getting mud all over my shoes either. so I usually don't come this high though. The road's gone suddenly dead. As soon as I stop this, it just pick up. I don't need to stop it, I just want to tell you what the next car is. It'd be interesting just to see if it's got a word on it or anything like that. Just a white car. Not immediately, but they have timed a person in a car wearing that murder jumper, followed by time to get busy car. Obviously there's cars in between that, but they're trying to make that suggestion again. A yellow car with light on, in fact. They tried to do the yellow cars. A yellow car is to suggest that it's going to be sunny. The government like their sexy weather, you see. It's sex in the sun. Sex, S-E-X. In the past, people told me if you're pissed off with the sun or whatever, why do you go upstairs and listen to music? If you listen to music on a sunny day where the sun's blaring, you can't pick up anything in the music. It just sounds fucking plain and boring. You play music on a sunny day, it does. It literally sounds plain, boring and uninteresting. If you play it in the evening or at night or on a cloudy day, it has more of an effect. It has the sound and the music seems to be much more enjoyable to listen to. It says child rapist. Very much how I said it then. Child rapist Justin, child molester by Crow. I'll keep it on record. I don't think I'll get anything because it stops as soon as I push record. Exactly, because the creator needs to disguise that he's an evil bastard. They even cause this as well, I forgot to mention this. When animal voice sounds occur, to try and stop me getting the evidence like the creator God does, they just pelt the traffic at me as soon as the voice sound starts, so that the traffic noise stops me getting the evidence of what's being said. There's something else I forgot to mention for this quick conspiracy. This has only happened this year as well. An invisible block in the road, or there's like an invisible stone you trip on in the road that causes you to lose control and nearly put your foot into traffic, has occurred several times this year as well. When you find that there's actually no stone there, it's like an invisible thing that's a glitch in the matrix which causes stone to be there to cause your foot to slip into the traffic and nearly get it under a car tyre going past you. I've noticed that's occurred as well, which again hasn't occurred before to my knowledge. There's been incidents where I've been very close or I tripped on something and I've not seen it, but this is a physical thing that I've tripped on, not something that's invisible. Right, it's past too late to get the evidence. Penis up motorbike, a load of black and blue cars starting to increase. Nothing you can do about it. The creator's buckled, hell bent, and it's going back in a drain covers it over, your life's down the drain. Right, so the government are getting fucking nasty, so dog barks dead, penis up motorbike timed. Baby bounced about in a sling, penis up bike, baby bounced about in a sling, penis up motorbike and baby bounced about in a sling again, another baby bounced about in a sling, black and blue white, grey car angled at me, sexual car and 100 more cars suddenly stepped up, drain cover smashed over to tell me that your life's down the fucking drain, penis up motorbike, drain covers hit over, I look like someone who sexually abused me as a child trying to willy shooting up. Baby bounced about in a sling, sneezed at, and all this traffic that's occurring here, whatever's occurring, because I haven't taken much notice because I'm trying to make this documentary. So just hitting out loud bikes to erections, and a few rough people put in my direction to hit me off walking back home, loud bikes to erections and a bit of burning, so, and the things keep falling off where you try and chuck stuff in a bin, it goes on the floor, falls out the bin, or put something on the table, it falls off, stuff like that's occurring, so. And a few animal voice sounds, forgot about that.